Iraq jokes, Iraqi jokes. Short Iraq jokes. Q. How did you get out of Iraq? A. Iran. Q. Why is Saudi Arabia clueless? A. Because they live under Iraq. Q. How does every Iraqi joke start? A. By looking over your shoulder. Q. What's the difference between a smart Iraqi and a unicorn? A. Nothing, they're both fictional characters. Q. Did you hear about the winner of the Iraqi beauty contest? A. Me neither. Q. What do you call a building full of Iraqis? A. Jail. Q. What do you call a reflective Iraqi girl? A. Amira. Q. What do you call an evil Iraqi? A. Muhahamed. Q. What do you call an Iraqi who owns a camel and a goat? A. Bisexual. Q. What do you call an Iraqi who owns 6 goats? A. Pimp. Q. What's the fastest way to break up a bingo game in Baghdad? A. You shout out, B. 52. Q. A rich Iraqi, a poor Iraqi, and Santa Claus all jump off a building. Which one will hit the ground first? A. The poor Iraqi, the other two don't exist. Q. Have you heard about the new Royal Iraqi Air Force exercise program? A. Each morning you raise your hands above your head and leave them there. Q. What should Iraq get for its air defense system? A. A refund. Q. What did the Iraqi train conductor say? A. All aboard. Q. What do you call a completely shaven Iraqi? A. A smooth criminal. Q. Did you hear about the Catholic Iraqi? A. He was a Shiite Muslim. Q. Who is an Iraqi hero? A. He's the one that waited 30 seconds before he surrendered. Q. Why aren't there any Walmarts in Iraq? A. Because there is a Target on every corner. Q. What do you call 4 Iraqi women in a sauna? A. Gorillas in the mist. Q. What did Saddam say to George Bush after he invaded Kuwait? A. Read my lips, I'm pulling out of Kuwait. Q. What does Saddam want for Thanksgiving? A. Turkey. Q. Why doesn't Saddam go out drinking? A. Why should he when he can get bombed at home? Q. What does Saddam Hussein have in common with Fred Flintstone? A. They both can look out of their window and see rubble. Q. What do you call Saddam Hussein's 99-year-old father? A. So damn insane. Last request. One day in 2015, Russia bombed Iraq and America, so Iraq and the US had no choice but to be allies. Then, an Iraqi and an American were both captured by Russian terrorists. And they asked if they had any last requests before they got their heads blown off. The American says, "Can you play America the Beautiful one last time?" The Russian guy asks the Iraqi for any last requests. The Iraqi says, "Can you shoot me before you play America the Beautiful?" Mullah. A friend asked the mullah, "How old are you?" 40, replied the mullah. The friend said, "But you said the same thing 2 years ago." "Yes," replied the mullah, "I always stand by what I have said." Donkey. You may have lost your donkey, Saddam, but you don't have to grieve over it more than you did about the loss of your first wife. But if you remember, when I lost my wife, all you villagers said, "We'll find you someone else." So far, nobody has offered to replace my donkey. Genie. 3 guys, a Canadian, Saddam Hussein and Uncle Sam are out walking together one day. They come across a lantern and a genie pops out of it. "I will give each of you 1 wish, that's 3 wishes total," says the genie. The Canadian says, "I am a farmer, my dad was a farmer, and my son will also farm. I want the land to be forever fertile in Canada." With a blink of the genie's eye, poof, the land in Canada was forever made fertile for farming. Saddam Hussein was amazed, so he said, "I want a wall around Iraq, so That no infidels, Jews or Americans can come into our precious state. Again, with a blink of the genie's eye, poof, there was a huge wall around Afghanistan. Uncle Sam asks, I'm very curious. Please tell me more about this wall. The genie explains, well, it's about 1,000 feet high, 50 feet thick and completely surrounds the country, nothing can get in or out. It's virtually impenetrable. Uncle Sam says, fill it with water. A terrorist went to the local hookah bar in Iraq with his new camel, parked outside. While in the bar, his friend asked him what is the sex of his camel. The owner replied it is a female. His friend asked him how did he know. And the owner told him about a mile down the road he passed 2 American Marines and one pointed at him and said look at the big pussy on the camel. Phone call. 3 men want make phone call from hell to remind to their relatives about its harsh conditions. Their nationalities were American, Italian and Iraqi. So they decide to go to devil who is the boss. So the American made a call and the devil made him to pay $100, then an Italian made a call and the devil made him to pay €10 on fact that Italy is less developed than that of USA. Lastly, an Iraqi made a call and the devil made him to pay a cent. Both the American and Italian complain as it is not fair and the devil responded to them. The Iraqi call was a local call whereas your was an international call.